Hello everybody and welcome at tonight's SimGT 2021.2 Div2 race. I am one of your commentators tonight. It's me, Sas van der Westhuizen, and I'm joined in the booth by Mr. Paul Venter tonight. Paul, how are you?
Good news, Sas. Excited for what's to come here.
Definitely. I'm very excited. I'm happy to see what's going on here. It's going to be a great night. Really looking forward to it. So while I get the mainstream up and running, Paul, I asked you earlier, can you quickly go and start looking at getting us some information about HLQ? So unfortunately, I didn't get to prepping all of the information that we required, that I required to set up the stream. But we're going. It's 15 minutes into our qualifying session, and there's already a bunch of laps, seeing some interesting things happening up and down the field. I'll try and zoom in on some of the action very soon.
Okay, awesome. So if we have a look at currently what's happening in quali, I mean, we've got top four guys separated by 0.057 of a second. I mean, we like close, but we would like a second spot that has done an identical time to pole position. I mean, they say this is Division 2. When I look at the lap times that these front guys are running, they could have been in the top 15 in Division 1 if I have a look at it. So, they could be there, could be close enough. Have some fun, man.
Yeah, so something I'll maybe add in terms of qualifying, the Nick and Daniel mentioned it, that the track evolution is quite ridiculous. I found that on Div 1. It's quite hectic how quickly the track evolves, and you can almost improve your times. I think I even matched my HLQ time, which I wasn't expecting at all.
Yeah, if I have a look here, I know that Anthony Wilson there in fourth spot, his HLQ, he did a 55.2, and I mean currently he's sitting on a 55.5, so it's quite close. So I saw myself as well on Monday night. I matched my HLQ time, so yeah, I think the track evolution, it's definitely helping the guys to lay down some epic lap times here. But to me, the most important thing is how close it is. We don't want a one-horse race, man.
Definitely. No, I'm also not trying to take away from what these drivers are achieving. I'm just stating that I found it was kind of easier to go quicker on Monday for me. So I'm expecting gentlemen to do fast times, and I don't even know, maybe there was a bit of sandbagging here and there. I saw a lot of people pushing quite hard, and with the promotion and demotion structure in place for this season, it's making for some interesting viewing in my mind.
Yeah,
right.
No, definitely.
Sorry, I'm just quickly jumping to Cristo Santos, seeing that it looks like he's about half a second up on his delta right now. He's halfway, not halfway, he's a ways into his lap, coming up to that back stretch, leading up to the chicane. He was one of he's usually one of the contenders for Div 1, although he and Alan from the Patterson Works racing team, they've switched to the BMW for this season, and they know that it's not quite as quick unless you're an absolute alien, but they just love driving it. So I'm keeping an eye here on Chris as he comes around the last bend. Just want to see, does he bump up a position? And he jumps up to 5th, so that's a well-deserved jump from him there.
That's a great lap there to put him right up there with the front guys. I raced with De Santos on Sunday at Monza, and that BM is no slouch in a straight line. So hopefully he has some good running here as well.
Seems that I switched to James Stroud now. He was about 1 or 2 tenths up on his delta. I'll keep an eye out for more deltas to be shown.
think we lost Dos Santos.
Hopefully not.
He is gone.
Is he gone? Maybe he had a game crash. I know people have been having some issues. I really hope it wasn't it's not a server issue. Since our move to simracing.gp, I've been very, very happy with how stable our servers have been running. So it's a little sad to see that happening.
Hopefully he gets back in before the end of quali. He's got just under 10 minutes to go, so I'm sure if it was just a normal DC, he hopefully will just be able to just jump back in.
If he doesn't get back in, unfortunately, it's going to mean he has to start at the back of the grid.
Oh boy. Well, he's shown the pace, so hopefully he can. If he has to start at the back, kamikaze pilot BMW, here we go,
Okay, so I'm riding with Ronald Childs now. He is 2/10 up on his delta. He's just gotten through the complex there. So there's about 9 minutes left in qualifying. It's gonna be interesting to see if we do have some more movement. Seeing some movement still up and down the field there. So Alan Patterson, he's usually very tight with Chris Dos Santos. He's got a best time of a 1:55.69, whereas Chris has a 1:55.65. So they're definitely right there. It's going to be a pity if Chris has to start at the back, but I'm really looking forward to seeing him. Well, I'm hoping that he can get back in time. There is still a few minutes left for him to do so. While I'm busy, I've neglected the YouTube chat a bit. Just going to say,
I'm busy having a look here, and I see some of the logistical nightmare faithful have come out to support our two drivers here, and they will definitely probably give me some stick during the night for my commentating. So how's it, Robin, and how's it Mr. Jacques, or Project JR as it's called? And I see Daniel has decided to join us and have a look. So how's it, Daniel? Welcome.
Yeah, so just gonna catch up with the rest. Maurits Krokamp is there, Mark Jansen van Rensburg, Wimpy de Beer, Pieter Oosthuizen, see Sean Bingham there as well, Robin van der Merwe, who else? That's about it. We have 37 people online, but it's always great having Gerrit Jansen van Vieren. Always great having viewers here, just seeing what they can do. Right now, seeing Ronald Childs is on a new hot lap, and he is half a second up on his delta, so he's trying to push hard for that pole position at race start.
The boys are busy there in the front. I see Wilson takes the lead, and then Ramsden jumps to pole. And Charles, if he can keep up that half second, he's definitely putting it on the front row there.
Slightly behind Ronald. I'm just going to jump back for a moment. I see Neil Berger is half a second up on his delta. He's coming through the No, that's not the Schumacher S. I need to get these camera angles straight.
Come on, Saz, bring the good angles, man. Give us the good angles there.
I think it's the good angles. It just caught me off guard. I know that the Schumacher S. Oh no, that was the Schumacher S. Sure of it.
It did look like the S's, yes, definitely did.
But anyways, that's not quite as important. The important thing.
Charles, no, he must have invalidated his lap there.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he did not move on up.
Okay, I'm going to jump to 10th position. Dion de Villiers now. He is 3/10 up in his delta. It's coming up into the hairpin. This is a corner where I believe you can make up a bit of time. Oh, and as I say that, he runs wide. So clearly tonight the commentator's curse is already strong with me.
Oh boy. Yeah, let's not do that again. let's get rid of the curse here in quali, and let's
Yep.
save the poor drivers from that.
As always, the worry with this track, I believe, is always that starting hairpin. It's a very, very tight turn, and with the track dipping away, it can also catch a driver off guard if they suddenly lose grip going down there. So unfortunately, Dion's thrown it away. Looking up and down the field, I'm seeing in 17th position, Amrish gonna run. I'm sorry if I butcher that. I'm going to stick with Amrish for now. He is 7/10 up on his delta, so it's likely going to move him up by quite a bit. Looking at the delta, at the differences, he might find himself well within the top 10 if he can finish this lap. But as I say that, he drops down by about 4/10.
Yeah, man. Some of these, it seems like they're getting some of these sectors right, and then having a bit of a struggle in some of the other sectors, man. I think it's just the characteristics of this track. You go bold and crazy in sector 1, and then you kind of try and save it through sector 2, and then you end up losing it all in sector 2, and then sector 3 you go just nuts again, and then kill yourself on the chicane.
Yeah, so I think Amrish maybe, yeah, he just improved his time, but it's not enough to break him out of a 17th position there.
Just a 10th or 2 that he took there, but
just jumping back down to 29th, Jeff Hancock's, he's coming around the last corner there, 8/10 up on his delta, so he's going to be rewarded quite a bit. Jumps up to 22nd position. That's a really, really good improvement for him.
That's a great lap. That's a great lap.
I'm hunting. Being down in 34th, Emily Bent is about to complete her lap. She's half a second up on her delta. In 13th, Valerio Antonucci is 6/10 up on his delta. He's also coming up to the last corner now. Just gonna stick with him, see if he manages, he keeps it going, and that bumps him to 3rd position. That's a really, really good quali position for him there.
Hey, that is, man, these guys are knocking in the laps right here at the end. It's quite interesting.
It's the track evolution. It's as Nick and Dan was saying, the track evolution here is
laying down the rubber.
Yeah, with all the cars going around, it's laying down good rubber to allow you to go fast.
So I see the comments on the stream is quite busy here. How's it, Sean? Sean Hodds, welcome. Seems like there's quite a few supporters here for Anthony. The guys are all about him being on fire and apparently throwing out a couple of sandbags out of his Bentley. And then how's it, Zahir? I see you've also made an appearance. Welcome. We missed you on Monday night in the race, but get well soon. So yeah, stream is good. We have got 36 people watching, so happy days, man. Yep. Should be fun.
It's a minute and 45 seconds left. I'm just jumping to Ronald Childs now. He's
back
less
on
than
it.
Yeah, he's 2/10 up on his delta. So he is currently 4/10 behind pole position there.
Hey, well, let's see what he does. Let's while we watch him going around, let's quickly run through the field here from the back end. So we got Danoon in 35th spot. Someone just ran off the track right in front of Charles. Hopefully that does not affect his...
He seems to be right on his bubble. I'm holding my breath. Maybe he'll be lucky. He does have enough time to go for another lap though, so if he can just keep it clean until the end of the lap, he can go at it once more if he has the fuel for it. In the meanwhile, I'm going to switch to Alan Patterson. He was 2/10 up on his delta. I'm really getting the commentator's curse in here, right? Like it's
So we should pick someone that's going really slow. Maybe they'll end up going really quick. You know, we've got to reverse psychology this whole situation here. So Charles completed his lap, and again, he does not improve. It looks like that final sector might be his Achilles heel at the moment.
It might be, it might be. The clock is running out now. There will likely still be one or two. Let's have a quick look at the track map. So there are a few that has already started their hot lap, and they'll have to they'll be able to go and finish that. I think the last driver is Amrish. He's got the number 8 car there, the Bentley.
Yeah, he timed it perfectly, it seems. Let's see.
Okay, in 30th position, Yassine Manuel. He's 7 tenths up on his Delta.
Ooh, that'll be nice.
Coming up into the chicane here, if he can get a good exit there and a good last corner. So he lost about 3 tenths there. As long as he can just keep it up, it's still going to bump him up by a position or 2. And he jumps to 29th. So he just pips out Pieter Geldenhuys at the last moment. I'm not sure if Pieter is still out on track.
Have a look. No.
Okay, gonna jump to Henry Roux in 12th position. He was a 10th up on his Delta. Again, people just not able to push quite as hard through this last section, it seems. They're losing a bit of time. Ooh, gets a bit out of shape there at the chicane.
That was hold your breath moment right there.
Yeah, he's going 3 tenths up, so that bumps him to 7th position. Alrighty.
There we go. Quali over and done, and pole position. Well done to Mr. Amsden.
Yes, so while the drivers queue up, I'm gonna go for a quick ad break. We'll be back just now. Okay, and we're back. Right, so all of the drivers are busy prepping and getting ready. This is the moment where the shakes can start to set in. You have to make sure that you've got your setup loaded. All of your pit strategies are set as expected, hoping that you can just get going. But it's also, I've found the formation lap can kind of give you a moment to calm down until you then have to get back into double file and get ready to go for it. So on the grid, we've got Alistair Ramsden in pole position, Anthony Wilson in second, Valerio Antonucci in third, Waldo Swiggers in fourth, Neil Berger in fifth position. We've got Francois Erasmus in sixth, Henry Roux in seventh position, Ronald Childs in eighth, Alan Patterson in ninth, and Brandon Holtzhausen in 10th position. Not gonna go through the entire grid right now, but does look like Chris Dos Santos is back, so he managed to reconnect.
Yes.
I don't think he was able to go and get another lap in to try and improve, so that might be why Alan squeaked in a few positions ahead there. He had more running time to give him the ability to do so.
Yeah, I think Alan was a bit sneaky there, stealing a lap or two there while Chris was trying to sort himself out.
Although I'm sure these two are old hands at this racing thing, I'm excited to see what Patterson Works Racing is going to do. Let's have a quick discussion. Who's the horses we're backing?
Well, being from the logistical nightmare stable, I have to go with Anthony in second place, man. I have to. I think should be a shoe-in for a top 3 position. If not, we're going to have some words after the race in the team chat,
I'm looking up and down this field. Gun to my head, I'll have to maybe say, let's back Alan. I know Alan has the pace. He's got the consistency. I think he's my horse. This is all about getting consistently through the field, making sure that you don't end up in a weird position or lose out because you're driving inconsistently. I think that he'll have a good finish, but I'm not putting any of the top oaks there. Valerio Antonucci, fast driver. Waldo Swiggers as well, Nurburgring as well, Francois Erasmus, Henry Roux, they were all up there. I think they missed out on Div 1 by a few tenths, if it was even that much.
I don't know. I think it's definitely going to be interesting. I know Alan seems to be a great racer. I think sometimes he just can't put the perfect quali lap together, but I've raced him a few times, and boy, can he come through the field if and when he does not get taken out. So I'm truly hoping we can have a clean first 5 turns, because that whole first sector is an accident waiting to happen. So if the boys get through there cleanly, I think we are in for a massive race from 10th to 1st. I think anyone is it. Then it's going to come down to strategy. Who has tinkered and who's got the gamble and who's going to come out on top.
Remembering on Monday night, we saw that the undercut was quite powerful. It's something that can be exploited. Yes, if you're right up at the front end, it's having track position is a bit more important. But it clearly now I can't even, was it Quade Claessens who showed that the undercut can do wonders for your race. So I'm not putting it beyond anybody that's maybe finding themselves in the midfield to try and go for the undercut and see what they can pull off.
Yeah, it's definitely it's something to ponder. I went with a long stint, and I was able to bounce a few guys on Monday night purely because they ended up making mistakes on old tires. So I think if you're in the front bunch, maybe a good strategy would have been to maybe only fuel for like 40% of the race. So that you have that little bit lighter car, get away in the beginning, and have clean track and
it
clean
can
air.
be risky doing that though, but yeah. Right, so everybody is pulling into double file here. Hopefully we don't see the same problems maybe as Monday night, but I'm trying to stay with the action up front. They'll be getting the message saying they need to hold specific speed, and then green light very, very soon.
I am actually nervous.
I'm so nervous. Green light, go, go, go.
And we're away. Now there's already chaos. Guys are into the wall.
Oh no. Starting at the back end of the field, it's a bit difficult getting around that corner, but I'm right up front, following Valerio Antonucci. Well, I'm keeping my camera on him, but Alistair manages to pull away nicely, and Anthony Wilson is maintaining his second position there, but Valerio Antonucci is really trying to keep this battle alive there.
Just jumping to the back. So Swiggelaar and Holzhausen, they seem to have been involved, and Emily Benz. The rest seems to be okay. They've all gotten through. So there's one car that's left at the back. Yeah, Swiggelaar, that's kind of, that poor Porsche looks very second-hand. Hey, but back to the front. Looks like everyone made it through. That's great news.
I'm trying to quickly get my timing tower sorted out, and it's doing its silly thing, just moving people about, trying to try and get some deltas up and running. Alrighty, okay. Looks like I have it going now. Okay, so...
At the front, Anthony's having a look. I see there is a fight for third place going on. 2 Astons.
There's a lot of movement about, so I think it's Waldo Swiggers next to Valerio Antonucci there. They're going down the back straight now. That little kink to the right, and then leading up into the chicane. Chicane being a place where you can try and make an overtake stick, but it's not as easy. And I see Waldo falling back behind Valerio Antonucci there.
I see Chris Dos Santos has had an epic start. He is up to 8th place and challenging for 7th, and he's got his teammate following suit. So Alan is following suit with Chris. So I'm just scrolling through the field just to make sure we're not missing anything in the back end.
Seeing a lot of fights in 13th position. Bradley Taylor. Now I'm not sure who's that next to him. That's Amrish on his outside, looking like he manages to get the overtake done. The cars are still pretty nicely bunched up. I remember seeing this on Monday. It's as if there's these nice pockets of cars following. I'm jumping back into 4th, where Waldo Swiggers is right next to Valerio Antonucci, fighting hard for that 3rd position. Remembering that the top three drivers in each division will get promoted to the next division. So it's all out there tonight. People are trying to make their way into Div 1 to see if they can bring it to the fight up front as well. But yeah, I am seeing Anthony Wilson putting a bit of a gap between him and Waldo, but he's staying on the
crash in the back. Erasmus tagged with Patterson, and Erasmus kind of came off second best there at the Schumacher S's. They try to go side by side through there. Just trying to see if
that's a difficult position to try and make an overtake stick.
Yeah, they were side by side going up there, but yeah, unfortunately. And I see there's more chaos going on in the back. I see Amarish is off the track. No, wait, Amarish is on. There's a black Ferrari. Quibus Russ. He is on the side of the road.
One of my teammates. That Ferrari looks very second-hand. He's had a massive moment.
He's definitely, that's been killed. Absolutely just killed. So he's right at the back.
Okay.
I see a few guys popping into the pits.
So in the midfield, there's still a bunch of cars. I'm currently on board with, well, not on board. I'm following Dale de Villiers. He's surrounded by a bunch of cars. So up ahead, it's Bradley Taylor and Stephen Kenny with James Leach as well. No, I think that gap is rather large. But behind him, it's Peter Geldenhuis, Lindsay Hans, and Henry Roux. Lots of scraps happening there, and the Mercedes, they're who's that? 122. Stephen Kenny's looking kind of second-hand at the front there.
Yeah, he definitely, that Merc does not look like the way it's supposed to be looking. He is defending hard. Dropping down the field just to see. Everyone is still quite nicely bunched in little groups.
That's the main reason I'm following this, is just look at that train of cars coming up behind everybody there. Ooh, 2 cars going side by side into the Schumacher S there. I don't quite know how they didn't spin out, but they make it work. Just a field of cars going to jump slightly backwards to Henry Roux in 19th position. He's got Diane de Villiers and Dylan Dawes all around him trying to battle for position there.
There they go. There is so much racing going on all over. I'm busy watching the front guys. I see that Ramsden and Wilson, they're busy Well, Wilson is going for it into turn one. He's going for it, and he backs out of it, and he's trying to defend Swiggers. Swiggers had a look there. So with Wilson and Ramsden fighting, this has allowed Swiggers to kind of catch up, and right behind Swiggers is Antonucci now. So
this front end battle is still going to be an intense one, I think.
Yeah, I think we are soon to be having a 6-car battle for the lead. That is a nice little group developing. And then if I have a look just behind them, you've got Patterson, and Patterson's gotten past Dos Santos and looks like he is pulling away from Dos Santos. So I think he is trying to catch up to that front group to be able to challenge for that win.
I'm fully expecting him to be catching up to Ronald Childs very soon, and this train of cars, it's going to make for an interesting battle, because you have to think about what you're doing in front of you as well as what you're doing behind you, and be careful that you don't lose too much time. And all while that is happening, you're slowing down just slightly, allowing people at the back to also catch up. So if it's interesting seeing such a large group up at the front have their battles out, and it is allowing drivers like Alan and Chris that they might be hanging back slightly and saying, let's see how this pans out. If these Oaks take each other out, maybe we get a free position for this. And I see Wilson having a look there on the inside, but not quite committing to it, braking early and falling back behind Alistair again.
Yeah, it is definitely getting real interesting. I'm busy watching is a 20, where is this? 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
I'll hop there right now. Anthony is going for the inside move into turn one.
Worry. Let's have a look.
Not quite. So he's not able to get that Bentley up to speed. The Aston Martin looking like it's slightly outpacing it in the straight there, in the main straight. So you said what? 20th position.
Yeah, they are. There's a nice little battle there. There's about 4 cars running together. 25th, 24th, 23rd, and 22nd.
Yes,
they
I see
were
now.
together. There I see Ruan and 2 Ferraris having a battle there with each other.
Ruan Stevens followed by James Stroud and John Hancock. So James runs slightly wide there and has to fall in behind Jeff Hancock's. But Ruan doing well there to keep them behind him. But he's going to be hunting for Stephen Kenny very soon.
Yeah, there's a nice little battle brewing there. I think someone tried a move into the final chicane because they were all 5 were bunched up nicely together.
Also remembering that we're expecting about a single pit stop tonight, so there's one mandatory pit stop with only a requirement for adding fuel. People almost going side by side into the Schumacher S. I'm not sure who was that Francois Erasmus, maybe slowing down slightly, but they keep going. Apologies, I got distracted by the action happening. So there's only a requirement that the drivers add fuel. They can choose to take tires. I'm not sure if the time saved for not pitting for tires is going to be worth it. But it's always an option there, and as we said, I think the undercut is maybe the stronger move. So it does make sense to go and pit for tires in that case.
Rubber.
Oh, all these Ferraris just flying through the S's. It's a difficult car to get through there in one piece if you're not very careful.
Definitely not a car that's made for bouncing curves like the Bentley is.
So I'm just going back to 30th position. Emily Benz, very closely followed by Jotan van Aswegen. There's a gap of about 3/10.
This is the crowd that had lap 1 incident, so they all kind of together making their ways back through the field. So I do think they probably will need to do another stop, maybe if they...
Neither Emily nor Jotan or Donovan de Noon admitted. So I'm seeing some damage on the cars there.
I see.
But I don't think it's necessarily significant enough. Not all of the cars are as aerosensitive as some of the cars, so having a slight bump here and there, it's not the end of the world. And they're going side by side there. Do they give slight door banging there? And unfortunately, Emily spins.
He gets turned around.
Okay, that is...
That ends that battle.
That ended that battle. I'm not sure what exactly happened there. Hopefully Emily can get going again. We'll check in a bit later. In the meanwhile, I'm hopping back to second position with Anthony Wilson on the outside of, who was that? Waldo Swiggers.
Oh, Waldo Swiggers. Oh boy.
Making the run down to turn 1. Waldo has the inside line. Does he go for the outbraking maneuver? He does. Just okay, it doesn't quite work out for him, but it does force Wilson slightly wide, and he might be able to gather himself for another attempt at an attack.
They need to be careful and not allow Ramsden to pull away, otherwise they're just going to have an issue. Yeah, Anthony is definitely fighting that Bentley of his at the moment. It does not look smooth at the moment in that car. Let's see what is going on the comments in the stream. Ryan Overalls says no penalties in Division 2. Yes, Ryan, there was no penalties at the start of Division 2. I know that was a bit of a sensitive subject on Monday. So yeah, let's move right along over the penalties. I see Patterson has caught up in the background. He has caught up to Nick is it Nick? Yes, Neil
Burger. He's half a second off of Neil there, yes. So he's getting close. Alan is one of those drivers. He's not slow. He's methodical. He takes his time. He evaluates what needs to happen to make sure that he can make an overtake stick. So I'm sure he's been following Neil, paying very close attention to his lines, seeing where he's maybe struggling a bit, and trying to ensure that he can get clean exits to try and go for the attack there. And as I say that, he does run slightly wide on just touching the grass there. But he should be getting into the slipstream very soon. Hopefully we can see some action with him and Neil very, very soon. Just jumping back to Joe. No, looked for a moment that Joe van Oosthuizen was very, very closely followed. So in 13th position, Henry Roux,
yes,
is very close to Lindsay Hanster.
Was actually just jumping onto them, and as we say that, the Henry has a bit of a moment into turn 1 on the braking.
Lindsay may be braking slightly earlier than Henry is expecting. Oh no. I am not taking responsibility for that one. I switched to him very early. That was all you, Henry. Unfortunately, hopefully you can recover, not let it get too much to him, and get his head down, get the hunt down for Lindsay very soon. Although I'm saying that Lindsay is one of my teammates, so I'm rooting for Lindsay to have a strong finish tonight.
Let's have a look. Going a little bit further down, I see Peter Geldenhuis and Yassine Manuel and Ryan van Wyk. Guys seem to be running quite nicely together there. They've been together for a couple of laps now, and it looks like that Desmond Pullen and Francois Erasmus is kind of losing onto the back of Brian Dylan Davis.
Dylan.
Oh, is it Dawes? Oh, yes, there we go. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, they were running quite close together 2 laps ago, so I assume that Desmond and Erasmus was having a bit of a battle there, and they've allowed Mr. Dawes to get away.
Yeah, so I'm currently on board with Yassine Manuel. He's in the Peter Geldenhuis and Ryan van Wyk sandwich there. Just having a quick look. Looks like he's relatively on top of this Porsche. But as I say that, Ryan van Wyk is really closing up onto the rear of him there. There might be an opportunity for a move. No. Ooh, if there's an opportunity, it might be Yassine trying to go for the outbraking, but no, he thinks better of it, tucks back behind Pieter Geldenhuys this to wait and see if he can make a move elsewhere.
I see there was some contact in turn 1 with Antonucci and with Mr. Berger, because I see that they have swapped positions. I see Neil was waiting for him at turn 2. So I see they've swapped some positions, and Charles is now up to 4th spot.
And it means that Alan Patterson and Chris Dos Santos, Jovan Oosthuizen all bump up ahead of him.
Yeah, Alan is up to 4th spot. This is getting interesting.
I'm still with Yassine Manuel and Pieter Geldenhuys. Well, with Yassine Manuel, Pieter Geldenhuys, and Ryan van Wyk.
Oh yeah, that's a close battle.
That is a very close battle.
And you've got a little battle with the guys, with Desmond and Dawes and Van Wyk developing there just behind them. So we're getting.
We'll be keeping a close eye on it to switch if there's more action. I'm trying to keep a close eye on Alan. Just going to jump forward to 2nd position, Anthony Wilson. He's still right on the tail of Alistair there. Alistair just not letting up, it seems.
Yeah, he's that Bentley looks like it is a little bit closer to what it was a few laps ago. So
Alistair
maybe
running a very defensive line there, though. Maybe runs a bit deep. I'm not sure what happened to. Okay, no, Wilson is still behind, like on his tail there. Waldo as well.
The boys are having a look. This is yo-yoing here, and this is all the while just helping Charles and Patterson, because with them battling like that, they're just going to slow down, and those guys are just going to be smiling.
Oh, definitely.
I'll jump back to Geldenhuys and see what is going on there. The boys are still at it, and
there's still a close gap on my timing screen, but it's not quite there yet. I do see James Leach very closely followed by Dale de Villiers. James in his nice green OC Breweries livery. I must say, I think I joined SRSA for the end of the 2020.1 season, and over the course of this last year, people have they've stepped up their livery game immensely. We're seeing some amazing looking cars out there. It astonishes me that people enjoy this hobby so much that they'll make something look totally legit.
Yes, no, I definitely agree. There's some liveries out there that look absolutely just awesome, man. It's some guys really take pride in what they're doing and how the car looks on the stream. So yeah, man, big ups to all the guys who are putting in that time and effort to make something look that special. So now I've jumped back to the leaders. And you have got Charles, who is right behind Swiggers. So we are just about a 4-way battle for the lead.
Getting close. And Alan and Chris...
Patterson is coming.
Alan is also coming. I did see Chris was close to Alan, but he's fallen back a bit now.
He has definitely dropped off just a little bit.
It might just be that he's saying, cool, let me relax a bit. I'm going to not overwork my tires too much to try and catch up. There's a battle happening up front. It will come to me.
Yeah, I think he's definitely playing the waiting game at the moment with everything that's going on.
Down into 12th, Lindsay Hans still having Henry Roux right on the back of his tail. Lindsay's Ferrari looking a little second-hand here and there, bumps and scratches on the nose and tail. Not quite as rough as that. Well, I don't think it's quite rough enough for the for the car to have suffered enough aero damage to be totally unstable. But Henry is definitely not letting up with the pressure here.
Yeah, no, he looks determined. Henry looks determined. That poor, I think he must, that poor Porsche is just waiting and waiting. If he gets a sniff, he's going to put it in. Yassine will just stick it in and take advantage.
So I'm still on board with Henry, just following there through the kink, coming up to the chicane. It's looking like he's gaining ground, but it's not going to be quite enough to try and go for an overtake yet.
Back at the front, Charles has just about now joined the little train. He's about half a second behind Swicher, so it's getting real tasty in the front as well now. So hoping that these guys can start battling and give us some proper entertainment going on here, man.
Yes, it's what we came here for tonight. Seeing our fearless leader, Mr. Jason Holden Jones, in the chat. Hello there, good sir. Ooh, James Leach, a 10th ahead of Dale de Villiers. So they're turning out well. They're going to be scrapping a lot now, I think.
Yeah, he's definitely starting to. Testing where can he find a gap.
And up ahead, I'm also seeing Neil Berger all over the back of Valerio Antonucci. Yeah,
that's a battle that's been going on for a couple of laps now after the turn one, whatever took place at turn one, and those boys swap positions. So yeah, let's see if the McLaren can take out. He's definitely having a look.
I don't think he's having a look. He's maybe just putting his nose out into the air to make sure that he has the downforce he needs for the braking zone. And it also means he's not compromising his line into the chicane there. He is right on the back of Valerio now, and he's in the drop. He's going to go for this move now. Goes on the outside. Side by side into turn one on the brakes. Valerio just outbraking him, parking it on the apex. Neil does get the overtake done. Well done. Oh no, they're still side by side.
Let's see if Neil's gonna. Is he gonna?
Oh,
he's gonna.
Just closes the door a bit there. But I do see Antonucci looking like he might be waiting for him.
He's waiting.
He's definitely waiting. That's the type of racing that we want to see. They're losing a few positions, but they get going again. Well done to them both. It's tough racing like this, but it's the type of racing that we like to see.
But at least, the boys are showing respect. They're waiting for each other. That's the second time that those two have had to wait for each other. So I'm sure they're going to have some great conversations after the race about their coming together.
Yeah, jumping backwards to 15th, the Pieter Geldenhuys, Yassine Manuel, Ryan van Beek train is still going strong.
Yeah, now they've added a couple of cars. Oh,
yeah, they've added Neil into the mix now as well, and Valerio is...
No, Bonucci puts Neil into the barrier.
No.
That was... Neil ran wide, and Bonucci just went to the inside and unfortunately just tapped him lightly on the rear bumper there.
That's unfortunate. Didn't look like I caught that on stream though, so unfortunately I don't have a replay of that. Still hunting up and down the field in 25th position. Frank Swigelaar has Jotan van Aswegen. No, he doesn't. That is a back marker. My timing screen is telling me lies.
See, we've lost one of the. I think he's probably gone into the pits. One of the front guys. Swiggers. Where has Swiggers gone?
He's in fourth. He's in fourth. I think he dropped back a bit.
Oh yes, I see there. I was just thinking, where has he gone? Okay, yeah. So he's dropped to fourth.
So Ronald Childs clearly taking the opportunity of Swiggers and Wilson battling there, and using it to his advantage to get into that top three. It's still very early in the race though. There's still an hour left. 90 minutes for a race. That's a long time.
No, that is definitely. He's hunting them down. He is currently about half a second quicker. His last lap was a 55.9, and Wilson did a 56.4.
So did Alistair. So Childs is showing some serious pace.
Yeah, he's definitely coming. Alan looks like he made a mistake because he did a 2-minute flat. So I think he's definitely he made a bit of a mistake there on the previous lap. Yeah, let's see. Charles is definitely starting to flex a bit of muscle there.
Childs getting an overtake there on Anthony Wilson. Coming out of the last corner, I think Wilson got a bit out of shape there and didn't get the accelerator down well enough. So that promotes Childs into second position. He's going to be hunting for Alistair now.
He's just going to hunt him down.
His last lap is half a second slower than Alistair, but I'm sure that was because of the battling that was happening with Wilson. But don't discount Wilson. I'm sure he's going to try and do his best to hold on to the back of Ronald Childs there. Maybe this is the opportunity to get his head down, sit in the toe and gain some lap time.
The only thing I think we need to look at is when these guys pit, maybe Anthony has decided to fuel a little bit heavier and run a bit of a longer stint.
Maybe he's aiming for some track position, but then you need to take into account that battling can really scrub some life off of your tires. So you need to be careful not to be working the tires too hard in your first early on in the stint, so that you can lay down fast laps closer to the end of your stint. Okay, so Chris De Santos and Jovan Oosthuizen, 7/10.
Have they caught up to Alan yet?
Not yet. So Chris is 2 seconds behind Alan, but he's being pestered by Jovan behind him. So I'm hoping there will be a bit of a battle unfolding here. It's going to be interesting to see. Chris in the BMW. He's got that Aston Martin that showed that it's quite quick on a straight line, it seems. He's going to be thinking hard about what that implies and how to battle against that.
Just dropping down the field, just scanning through everyone to see where everyone is, if there's any other battles brewing. Ooh, I think we lost the driver. I was flashing through and someone looks like they DC'd. Okay. Well, Emily is still going strong. She's in 32nd spot. And then some of the back guys, I think they kind of just hanging in there to see what happens. But has Charles picked up the pace? No. Yes. No, he has not. Ronald.
He's 3/10 quicker than Alistair though. So I think while he's not doing 155s, he's still showing that his pace is slightly quicker. And he's going to have to do that. He's about a second behind, so he needs to close that gap and be thinking about what he's going to do once he reaches the front there.
Yeah, he's definitely planning his how do I assassinate Ramsden
Uh,
was there.
it might well be that when the time starts approaching for pit stops, that he says, "Cool, I'm going to go for the undercut right now." Um, take the opportunity, because it's not that he's necessarily being slowed down. And if you're sitting in a train and you feel that you can't quite race at your race pace, it does make sense to try and go for the pit stop, but you
Yes.
do risk coming out in traffic and then not quite benefiting from the undercut attempt. Oh, I almost thought that Wilson was going to go for an outbraking maneuver there. Maybe a bit ambitious, but just a different line into turn 1.
That almost looked like it could have ended badly.
Last lap, Childs is still 2/10 quicker than Alistair, so he's slowly but surely going to be working on closing that gap. Just jumping back to 12 with the Pieter Geldenhuys, Yassine Manuel and Ryan van Wyk battle. This has been going on since the start of this race, basically.
It has not ended, and I don't think it is going to end anytime soon. These boys really... What are their lap times? There's 3:10s. So Yassine and Ryan are running just about identical lap times. Peter seems to have pulled the previous lap. He was about 3:10s quicker. So
I will say the concerning thing, I think, for Peter is his current best time is about 3/10 slower than Yassine's best time, and Yassine's best time is about 2/10 slower than Ryan's best time. So that's explaining why they're keeping this close. It's just maybe a bit too difficult for Yassine and Ryan to close the gap and put their nose in to try and go for an overtake.
Let's hope for the best here.
At the 56-minute mark, I am seeing two drivers in pits right now. So Stephen Kenny and Brandon Holzhausen. Remember someone saying in chat that the Mercedes is a little aero sensitive, so Stephen would have been struggling to keep a hold of the car. He's maybe decided, cool, usually when we run endurance races, you run hour stints, so it's totally doable to go and pit now.
Yes. It's safe.
As long as you don't push too hard. I think it's very doable to run an hour stint on your tires.
Guys, I see cars are starting to pop in the pits and jump out. Anthony is in the pits.
So he flinched.
Yeah, he's in the pits.
I think he's feeling he's being held up, so he's made the decision.
Might be. Take it early. Hopefully that's all it is and it's not anything else. No, it just looks like a routine stop. So
by my calculation on Monday, I think a pit stop. I'm not saying you're losing about a minute. From pit entry to pit exit, it's about 20 seconds to roll through the pits, and with a 30-second pit stop, it puts you at about a minute. What I'm not sure about is how much time you lose on the pit entry itself. So Anthony is rolling again, and he is now down in 16th position. He's got a bit of clear air ahead of him, although I'm expecting him to be catching up to Dylan Dawes very soon.
Yeah, let's. Now he's got to hope. Who is off track? A McLaren just in front of him. JB van Nieuwenhuizen. Okay, and he's gone past him.
Gives him a decent amount of space there. Well done.
Yeah, now his big thing now is he's got to get through traffic, and traffic does not have to get out the way because they are.
This isn't traffic that he's lapping. This is just regular traffic. So
yeah,
it might be that his choice to pit early was maybe a bit too early now.
Yeah, now the issue is he's getting himself stuck behind a lot. Ooh, almost thought he was going to dive. I almost thought he was going to make a dive bomb move there. But I see the other Bentley is moving out the way. So, guys,
people are realizing that their pace just isn't quite matching, so it might not be worth it for them to have the battle out. I'm just jumping up ahead. Christos Santos and Jovan Oosthuizen there. That gap is now down to 2/10. So Jovan Oosthuizen looking really, really racy here behind Chris. Ooh, slight bump there on the rear, but they both keep going.
Yeah, that is quite close there between those two.
Seeing down below 20 to 22nd, all in the pits, so people are starting to make the move. Yo, Chris sliding it around.
Yeah, you know how it goes. One guy pits and everyone flinches, and then as well. So yeah, let's see what the front guys do. They at this point I think are spoiled for choice. You are in front, so you got the clean air. So wait for and Chris
decides to go.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump back a bit to Dale de Villiers. He's being tormented by James Leach. Is it? No, which car is that? Can't get the number. Okay, so that must be a back marker that's around him. James Leach being slightly further down. I'm trying to find the gaps, but now my timing system is falling apart.
Yeah, that timing.
11th to 10 to 12th. So this is still Pieter Geldenhuys, Yassine Manuel, and Ryan van Wyk. This battle is still going. I think it's going to boil down to who decides to pit earlier here. I think Ryan might be in a good position here to make the call and say, cool, maybe let me go and pit early.
Yes.
I can see by his lap times, he's faster than Yassine, he's faster than Pieter. His best is faster than both of them as well. So he's just being held up. He'll have to make that decision and see if he can get the undercut to work for him.
I think also whoever hits their pit marks perfectly and does not need auto adjusting for on the jacks, all of that is going to be so key to what happens with this little battle.
And of course, there is the pressure of hitting your pit marker perfectly and making sure that you don't end up losing because of that. Seeing Christos Santos stumbling down the list there, was he?
Yeah, I think he went into the pits.
Oh yes, you're right.
I think he's just.
I'm just sticking with this battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th. I'm sure we'll be seeing someone dive into the pits, and it might even be that if Pieter flinches, everybody follows him and tries to follow suit.
If the two front boys pit before Van Wyk, if I was him, I'd run one extra lap just to see if he can maybe pull a couple of tenths because he is quicker. Well, there we go. Yassine is the first one flinches. So now let's see if Van Wyk can catch up to Pieter. Then that should, in theory, give him the space he needs to get past Yassine. So yeah, things now to see which one of them jumps on the next lap. Let's see where everyone is at the moment.
So just quickly jumping up ahead, Alan has Waldo Swiggers running very close to him there.
He's passed.
So Alan must have made the overtake on Waldo's stick, and he is slowly working his way. Looking at his time, so his last lap was a 1:56.5, and his best lap a 1:56.1. It's not quite at the pace of what Ronald Childs is doing, but it is about matching what Alistair is doing up in front. So Alan is in a really, really good position, and it's. I'm not sure where Anthony Wilson is going to come have things shake out. It's going to be interesting seeing what happens there. Hopefully he's managed to get his tires up and up to temperature quickly, and he's not stuck in too much traffic, he can quickly negotiate it and put in some
Charles
good
is
laps.
also jumping into the pits now.
Sorry, who? Oh,
Charles.
Ronald Charles. Okay, cool. So he's going in, and we're reaching the halfway point now. So it's
Yes.
it's starting to become less of a undercut situation and just more of a regular pit stop now. Just looking at last laps, Waldo 5/10 slower than Alan there, so he's it might be tires, it might be a myriad of things, but this is the reason why I backed Alan. Oh no, Ronald Childs is a drive-through penalty. He came into the pits too hot.
Man, oh man, oh man, he is going to be kicking himself for that. That is. That's heartbreak. I think he was probably on for first or second, and now, oh man, that he's now going to drop down to what, close to about 10th, I think.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, that's about 30-second penalty that you're taking just from pit line to pit line. I'm not even taking into account that the entry into the pits is slightly slower. It is a bit shorter, but I haven't quite worked out what the difference is. That is very, very unfortunate for him. And I see Peter Geldenhuis is in the pits. Who was he battling with? Ryan van Wyk stays out.
Yes.
His last lap of 1:59, so he clearly had a bit of a moment. Maybe.
Yeah, he's even fallen back. He's got Antonucci right up his rear bumper there. So, man, that's like a 4 seconds. So in theory, who was fighting with Van Wyk?
He was fighting with Peter
him,
Geldenhuis
and Yassine.
Yassine Manuel, yes. So Yassine comes out in 19th position, and Peter Geldenhuis, he is rolling. Although, let me quickly switch to him. Yeah, he is out of the pits and well ahead of Yassine. Yassine probably had a bunch of damage that he chose to repair, which put him back a bit.
Can be, or
it's just the cold tires. It caught him off guard and he lost more time.
There's a crash. Ronald Charles had T-boned. He T-boned Jordan van Rensburg. He T-boned Jordan van Rensburg. They kinda met each other at the pit wall. So one of them hit the pit. I assume Jordan hit the pit wall first as he was sideways against the pit wall, and then Charles just drove. Well, I guess there isn't a lot of space there in the first place, so I guess
looking very unsure about where that pit line is. Being Henry Roux bumping his rear there.
Patterson and De Villiers is in as well. So now everyone.
Patterson gets going. De Villiers is still standing still, and he's going. Waldo yet to pit as well as Alistair, so just gonna keep an eye on that. The gap from Alistair to Waldo is about 10 seconds. Ooh, Waldo's sliding it around there.
Anthony is currently just gone through turn 4. So I wonder where does that, because the timing screen, I'm waiting for that to update itself so we can see where that puts him back in with
currently in 12th, although
he's showing a 7th and in 12th, so interesting.
hopefully this updates soon. Yeah, okay, so he manages to still come out ahead of Alan. Okay. And he's ahead by about 3 seconds, which is a decent bump for him. Alan was 5 or so seconds ahead of behind Alistair, if I remember correctly, which might mean Wilson's undercut did not quite pay off, but I'm still waiting. Oh, and Ronald Charles has a stop and go 30.
Jeez, from bad to worse to absolute horrible. Man, oh man, oh man.
Just jumping to our man up front. He's been leading this entire race. He's done very well for himself, keeping his nose clean, just coming up to the back of Ryan van Wyk there. So looking...
I see Ramsden and Swiggers are still out. They have not done pit stops yet. So interesting. They are running quite further into the race.
Quite a bit. I don't think it's that crazy. We're still around the halfway mark. There's more time for them to go, and I think as long as they're still doing decent lap times. So Alistair's last lap time was a 1:57.5. It's not blisteringly fast, but it's still faster than what Waldo can do. It's faster than what James Leach can do. It's faster than Francois Erasmus. Okay, Lindsay Hunt went into the pit, so I can't say that it's necessarily faster than him. Most likely, but it's going to boil down to, one, does he have a good pit stop, and two, can he get the tires into working temp, and then up his pace by quite a bit, because this is losing him some time. His best is a 1:56.1. And his last lap with a 1:57.6, that's about a second and a half off of his best time, which will put his pace down quite a bit. And if you run too many laps like that, you risk losing a lot more time than you actually realize. In the YouTube chat, I see Philip Minor in chat. Hello there, Philip. As well as Brett Crocom. Hello. Brett, I'm not 100% sure about drive-throughs only for track cuts. I have seen speeding in pits, depending on the speeding severity, being punished at different levels.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, pit stops. So if you jump, and I think if you were within 5 to 10 kilometers of an hour, it's just a normal drive-through. If you're higher than that, as far as I know, then it hammers you with a stop.
So drive-through penalties are issued for track cuts, but the penalty lined up too closely to Ronald Childs' pit stop, which is what prompted me to think it was for speeding in the pits.
Yeah, because it came as he left the pit, so that's why we kind of assumed it was just for the pit stop. Hey, Ramsden and Swiggers, they still going. Boys are going deep into this race.
Definitely. Just looking at the gaps, so it is a rather large gap behind Ramsden to Waldo. 11 seconds, and I think James Leach is about 30 seconds behind Waldo, which is not necessarily good news for James unless Francois is at 20 seconds. So James, looking by the calculation, he might drop back to like 8th or 9th. No, rather maybe 7th. Going to be interesting seeing how his pit strategy shakes out. Just jumping to Cristo Santos in 8th position. Looks like he should be very close to Jovan, but I'm not seeing that. Oh yes, he is.
So having a look just to see where did Yassine... So Yassine jumped Peter, but and Ryan, he's jumped Peter and Ryan. So Ryan, that 4 seconds hurted him quite badly, but I think he also fixed damage because he's dropped to 14th, and Yassine has found himself in 9th spot.
That is a very, very good shakeout for in Yassine's favor, and he's ahead of Peter Geldenhuys as well. Was that an overtake?
I wonder if that wasn't just with the whole over, because he's quite a bit ahead.
Oh, yeah, okay, so he's about 3 seconds ahead. But that said, Francois Erasmus is 6/10 off of Peter Geldenhuys there.
Peter's got a three-way battle again. So
I don't think that's a three-way battle. That is our leader, Mr. Alistair, right behind them.
He's coming. Oh yes, that's Alistair coming up to lap them. Oh yes, there we go. I see.
Okay, so Erasmus doing well to let him by.
And he's going for another lap. Yeah, I'm amazed because he's really loaded up with the fuel then to be able to run the laps he did. with the strategy that he's gone for.
That is very true. So his last lap of 156.9. Just going to switch to him. Okay, I'm not seeing anything pace-wise that's provided on the AC towers and stuff. But he's not slowing down. He's maybe a bit slower, but he's not like 2 or 3 seconds off his space. So he's keeping that Aston Martin under control and really working it nicely this late into a stint. And as I say that, Waldo Swiggers, he drives
He's
into
in the
pits.
Yeah, see, Waldo is in the pits. Yeah, so Alistair, his last lap was a 56.9. So that's kind of been, he's been what, more mid 56s. So yeah,
It's costing him some time. I'm sure if he gets some fresh rubber, he'll be able to go faster.
yes.
But he's maybe thinking a bit about track position here, seeing if he can eke out a bit of an advantage, waiting for someone to maybe pit.
So it'll be interesting now to see if Wilson jumps Swigger, just to see, because they were quite close together when Anthony went into the pit. So that'll be a true, I think, a true reflection. If
Waldo is only rolling now, and Anthony Wilson has already gone past turn 1.
Okay.
So I think he's made that overtake stick. Although we're just waiting for the timing tower to update. Should happen very soon.
Yeah, because Anthony,
Yes,
he's gone.
Okay.
There we go. So a question then that will only be answered once Ramsden jumps into the pits is whether he is going to come out in front of Anthony.
Yeah, he's still staying out. So I'm going to be keeping an eye. Anthony is doing fast laps. He's doing 56 flat.
Yeah,
he's going to be hunting, closing that gap as quickly as he can.
Yeah, he is. He's got James van Rensburg, which is in front, and he does move out the way, so that piece doesn't hold him up too much.
I'm trying to figure out James Leach. He is crossing the finish line now, so that puts him 49 seconds behind Ramsden. Wilson is coming around the last corner now, which will put him closer to 60-70 seconds behind Ramsden. 75. That's close.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be close. I think if Anthony doesn't have too much trouble with the traffic in front, his last lap was 56.2, so he's staying in the low 56s. He can keep this up. He can slowly eat out the advantage that Ramsden has eked out for himself.
Yeah. Because Ramsden, his last lap was a 57, so he took a full second out of him on that lap.
Yes.
So the only thing I can maybe think is if Ramsden is thinking that he's not going to pit for tires and just do a fuel stop, because that's the only thing that is required is a fuel stop.
I don't think that's advised though. Even with heavier fuel and his tires already showing age, he's not quite getting back to his personal best. It's just going to cost him more and more time, and I don't think the pit stop will save him enough time to pull that off. It might be a strategy. I'm excited to keep an eye on this. Really looking forward to seeing how this shakes out.
Yeah, and didn't we say early in the race, it's going to come down to they all got similar speed, but who's got the strategy to win the race? Let's see. Patterson is in 4th. I just want to see how he is going on. As I filter through, Holzhausen misses the chicane and
that's unfortunate.
Gets back onto track and looks like he is going straight into the pits.
Just quickly hopping back to Ronald Charles. His last lap, a 156 dead.
Well,
it's-
Patterson's doing 56 ones.
Yeah, I'm not discounting Alan there, but yo, that's so unfortunate for Ronald. Like, he had
Yeah,
such a
yeah,
good
look.
race, and then ended up having a lot of trouble with his pit stops, and it's painful seeing that happening. But hopefully he'll be able to come back stronger for the next round. He is hunting down Jotan van Aswegen now, and I'm sure he'll be able to make this overtake stick very soon. Ronald has shown a lot of pace tonight. Goes on the outside there. Does he get the drive to go for the move in the next corner? Not quite. Still holding. And Alistair is in. Alistair is in.
Okay. So now we get on to Anthony watch. Okay. Guys are at least the guys are moving out of his way quite nicely. So he's approaching the Schumacher S's now. So I think this is going to be close. It all depends on what Ramsden does in the pits.
So Ramsden, I don't see his car looking like it jacked up. You might be right in that he's going for a splash and dash close to the end of the race. That said, time is rolling by. I'm not 100% sure how long he has been stationary.
Yes.
Wilson coming up the back straight there.
Yeah, he's into the chicane.
Ramsden still standing still. Maybe you switch to Ramsden. Let us know when he's rolling. So Anthony Wilson coming around the last corner there.
And he's rolling.
Ooh, this
Ramsden
might be
is rolling.
very, very close.
This is going to be absolutely close. I think Ramsden's going to have him right at the end there.
No. I think Anthony has the... Oh, Ramsden is still out ahead. This is extremely close.
So this is close. Now to see if Anthony can take advantage of Ramsden on cold tires.
Yes, that is now going to be the battle. Cold tires not quite there yet. It takes a lap or half a lap to warm up if you can get it done. Wow, and I see James Leach in the pit as well. So I'm quickly looking at Alan. He is coming. Oh, he's just gotten out of the complex, so he's quite a ways behind. I don't think he'll be able to catch up to James just yet. Right, back to the leader.
The gap seems to be sitting a bit stationary at the moment.
I think it's 1.5 seconds. So Anthony Wilson really, really close there, but just not quite there.
Oh man, we go an hour into a race and we have 30 minutes left, and first and second is still fighting it out. That's the way we like it to go, man.
So just going to jump back to Waldo. He is still right on the back of, he's right on the back of Jovan Oosthuizen there, following him by 3/10. It's usually the disappointing part for me in the pit strategies. The field just relaxes up a bit. There's not as many battles going on, but it might also be telling of all of the battles maybe taking a bit more life out of the tires for each driver than they may be expected, and then everybody not stopping on the same lap means that they're not coming out back into that fight.
Oosthuizen and Swiggers are having a
proper ding-dong battle there,
they are going at it again. The two Astons back at it.
I'm switching to an onboard view from Swigger's perspective. He's right behind.
He has
maybe
to be
in the toe. Slowly going to have to go on the outside though.
Oosthuizen is blocking. That's some good defending there, but he runs it deep. Swiggers should have this if he can carry the momentum. He's taking a very wide line.
Goes for the inside line.
Again. That was a great cutback move. Can he keep it tight? Yeah,
does keep it nice and tidy. Well done on Waldo for that overtake. That was beautiful.
he set that up from turn one. That was some great work there, man. Absolutely awesome.
Okay, my timing
And you
screen
got
jumping around a bit.
Santos
Sorry, I
and the
was...
Villiers are back at it. They resumed half a second gap battle.
Oh yes, that can also bring some excitement. I do see the gap between Wilson and Ramsden is down to 1.1 seconds now, so he's closing the gap. Last lap. My timing screen is still showing Alistair's outlap, so I'll keep you up to date with lap times as they cross. But for the time being, I'm sticking with Dos Santos and De Villiers.
Now De Villiers looks like he's got better drive through the corner at the moment compared to Dos Santos.
He runs
Oh, but he
wide
runs
into the
wide.
kitty litter. Oh no, that loses you so much time.
And now the Santos must be breathing, going like, whew, thank goodness.
I can believe that.
Gives him one more lap to survive.
Such a nice and long pit straight, but funnily enough, I found myself not going into sixth gear at all throughout the race.
And Westhuizen is back past Voldu.
Oh no. I'm
Yeah,
still with
one.
Dos Santos. De Villiers almost getting around Dos Santos at turn 1 there. Hopping on board with him now as he's trying to follow Dos Santos. And somehow the gap between Wilson and Ramsden back up to 1.7 seconds. Looking at the lap times, they're pretty evenly matched. Ramsden does a 156.7 and Wilson did a 156.9.
I think he's maybe just trying that little bit too hard and just losing out a little bit here and there to Ramsden. But
Yeah.
27 minutes to go. Let's see what he can do. Filtering through here just to see where. Yeah, so Westhuizen's got him past Voldu and he's pulling away now. So Jovan's just, he looks like he's now, he's found the grip and now he's just driving away from poor Voldu.
Maybe he was just sizing up Waldo, or he was just watching his mirror too closely. Oh no, down in 21st, Ronald Childs with another drive-through. That must have been for track cuts.
That's track limits. That most certainly is track limits.
He clearly has had a very rough race tonight.
Yeah, no, look, he's had some bad luck tonight. But Chris is still trying to get away from De Villiers, but he seems to be just slowly pulling that BMW back in. I see on the stream we got Ryan Urals shouting go Johan, and then we've got Brett edging on Voldu there, and then we got some more Ryan shouting for Johan, and then we got Project JR or my teammate Jacques screaming for Patterson, doing awesome in the BMW. Hats off to him. You know, Patterson is, as you said, he's on the podium at the moment, so he's
not a race winner tonight, but I'm happy seeing Alan on the podium. Not yet. I'm not counting the chickens until it hatches. There is still 25. Oh, Westhuizen and Waldo next to each other going into the second hairpin there.
Oh boy.
But Waldo has to back out of it again. He's closely following Westhuizen now. I'll switch to an onboard now.
Waldo just about kept it together through the Shumi S's there. He laid down some Drift King lines through there.
Just losing a bit of time there, and it's going to... Ooh, in the back there, Chris Dos Santos and Dale de Villiers coming in next to one another. Switching back to that battle. Dale not quite in the slipstream as you'd hope.
No, but it's as if that Aston, it doesn't want slipstream, but then again, that BM in a straight line might not be the quickest car around. Wow! And De
That was
Villiers does.
I caught that with
What?
the rear facing camera.
What a line that was. Yo.
Screaming down the pit straight there.
Now let's see. I don't think he's close enough to realistically make a move unless the Santos runs a bit wide, which he does. But that seems to be his line that he takes into turn one.
Yeah, I think back when I watched a track guide from Aris, one of the Kunos developers, he said he doesn't like going out wide for the left-hander after the hairpin. And I've still not made up my mind completely, but I remember thinking to myself, it doesn't really feel like it matters that much. It's very situational and dependent on how you're defending against the driver or attacking the driver in front of you or behind you.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm just going to drop down a bit. Ryan van Wyk and Lindsay Hans looking like they... Ooh, Lindsay Hans, Pieter Geldenhuis up ahead, and that's Dylan Dawes right... No, that's François Erasmus, I think.
So Peter back fighting with some more guys. He seems to just continuously have a group around him.
On board with Ryan van Wyk. He's right on the tail of Lindsay Hans there. It's going to be all about what he can do through the Schumacher S and into the following corner. Can he follow closely and maintain the speed? Light lift and a downshift. Right. Seems like they're pretty evenly matched in the Schumacher S's. Ooh, has to take a bit of an evasive maneuver there. Just caught out by Lindsay's brake marker. Although that is to be expected. Lindsay is following. He's following Pieter Geldenhuis very closely, so he would have had to be braking slightly early.
Some of these boys are really testing our heart rates here tonight, man. That's
definitely.
Two close balls.
It's allowed Dylan Dawes to overtake Ryan van Wyk. There's definitely a nice train forming here. I'm just going to switch to the helicam. Try and catch all of the action. Maybe there's a bit of action that might happen between Dylan and Ryan. Although Ryan isn't even visible right now. Okay, he just pops in.
Yeah, he's
Lindsay Hans. What a move. Almost getting it on the inside there. Peter taking very, very different lines. Lindsay almost opening the door a bit wide there for Dylan. It's now going to be about keeping calm. Although I do think Dylan might have a good drive out of here. He's going to be thinking about looking into this next corner.
They're going to touch.
There's touching.
Oh, no. And then Rian decides to join the battle.
Not much that Ryan could have done in that case.
No, he was kind of just a passenger at that point.
I do see Dylan looks like he's waiting for him. Not quite sure if it was Dylan's fault. Looked like Lindsay might have been turning in a bit aggressively, but well done there. It's great seeing this close racing. People willing to go door to door and try and make the move stick. Let's see further down the field. Are there any other battles happening?
Well, Ramsden has really pulled away from Anthony. I mean, he's what looks like 4 seconds ahead of him now. So, and now just needs to consolidate that second spot and make sure. I see that James Leach is fighting with Hancock. Is it Jeff Hancock?
Yes. James Leach managing the overtake there. So that's interesting. Wasn't it James who was up in front and was running along?
He
Alistair
ran
very deep.
He ran very deep
Ooh,
into the
so he's somewhere he's lost out quite a bit. That is very unfortunate for him. Although he's trying to bring back some, he's on his drive back to see what he can get out of this race. Going to jump up ahead again. So Jovan Oosthuis and Waldo Swichers still nose to tail basically.
Yeah, their battle they have not finished that battle yet for the day.
This might go down to the wire.
And then behind
looks like Waldo has a very, very good drive there. He does have to go very hard on the curbs there. He does brakes nice and early. Maybe that pushes Jovan into making a mistake. Does not. And they go on to the last corner, keeping it clean, trying to make sure they get good clean exits. Waldo keeping it nice and tight. I think that has given him a very, very decent drive. Hopping on board with him, Jovan running the defensive line. Who's going to go for the outbraking maneuver? Waldo going for the cutback there. Nicely done.
He gets it this time, but
Jovan's still on the inside. These two must be having tons of fun tonight.
And they've got such different lines through those couple of corners that it just gives both of them so much opportunity to try and take a lunge at the other one. So, and they keep it nice and clean.
I think they're playing the mental game. Waldo is doing all he can to pressure Jovan into making mistakes. Jovan had to run a very defensive line, which meant if he didn't slow down enough, he would have to run very wide out of the corner or deep into the corner, which sets Waldo up in a very advantageous position. But he just couldn't close the door as much as he maybe would have hoped. Next to one another into this next corner. Waldo really working hard at setting up that car to have a good drive out of a good exit so that he can try and make some overtake moves stick. Forcing Jovan to the inside into the chicane, just braking slightly earlier to... Oh, I was hoping for some side-by-side action there. Waldo going a bit wide, trying to cut back and get a good exit again, although he's not as close to Jovan on this go.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't think he'll be doing any lunges into turn one, but he does seem to be a lot stronger on the brakes into turn one as he closes up that gap considerably just in one corner. So very interesting to see.
Their lap times are pretty even. Jovan's last lap being a 1:58.4 and Waldo's a 1:58.8. So he is 4/10. He was 4/10 slower on that last lap, but he's all over the back of Jovan there.
Yeah, he's just trying to find a way past and to be able to get past and keep it there. I think that's the key that he's got to work on at the moment.
Definitely.
See, Jovan's got quite a bit of support here happening on the chats on the screen from Rian Overall's side.
LLC Racing coming to represent and provide the support.
Let's have a look and see how quick do these two go at it again. But I do see there's a BMW in the background. Is that Chris slowly making...
Oh, Jovan runs wide. It's allowed Waldo to come up the outside, but Waldo just not able to keep hold of that line.
This is the way they're getting so close. This is going to set him up nicely for turn one again to try and see if he can get past, but it does look like Johan's got a better run through
Yeah,
the chicane.
he did,
He pulled,
and Waldo was a bit late on the throttle again there, so he doesn't quite get the apex hooked up so that he can get a good exit and try and make another move into turn 1.
I was gonna see what Chris is doing, because Chris is not that far behind, but he is
5 seconds behind.
he still has De Villiers behind him for
Oh yeah,
company.
he's also still having his own battle. But he's lapping at a slightly faster pace compared to Waldo and Jovan, so that might allow him to close the gap. There's 13 minutes left, so not a lot of time to really close up that gap.
Boulder having a look into the hairpin there.
I think he had a really nice and tight drive there, but he's going to be stuck behind Wilson throughout the Schumacher S. It's going to be a difficult position to hold. On trying to get a good exit and getting the inside line at this turn can make an overtake stick, but it's a really difficult move to get right. Waldo very early on the throttle there, making sure that he gets the best exit that he can.
Yeah, that's these two. They are just going at it. Oh, is he going to have a try and have a look? I think he's just
he
trying.
He missed the apex there at the chicane. That's unfortunate. Maybe just had to avoid Jovan there. Jovan sure knows how to make that Aston of his very wide. I'm hopping back to Chris. He's running a very defensive line against De Villiers into turn 1. We're right up next to the pit wall.
These two, they've also been going at it just like the other two the entire race.
And behind them, that is Ronald Childs and James Stroud battling for position. Maybe switch to helicam. Maybe we can catch the action going about.
I've just jumped through to the front just to see what's going on, but Alistair is pulling about a second a lap on Anthony at the moment. So he's just gingerly driving away, and I think Ant might have decided, you know what, not going to catch him, consolidate, keep second place safe. But yeah, things look real interesting going on there between Chris and De Villiers.
They're nose to tail. They went side by side through the hairpin there. Chris forcing De Villiers to really work hard for this position. And I do see Ronald Childs manage to get past James Stroud.
Something I think Voldu might have made a mistake, because he's dropped quite a bit off of the back of
Jovan now.
Yeah, so they've kind of split up. There's quite a big gap between them now.
That's the difficult thing with keeping pressure, piling pressure on for so long. At some stage, one of you will make a mistake, and then it ends up feeling like it's costing you more than it should.
Yes.
Chris taking, again, but a very defensive line right next to the pit straight there. He's hooking up his braking markers nicely. He's keeping a clean line out of turn 1. But De Villiers right under his tail there. Just slightly worried about running into the back of him.
And these two boys are keeping it quite close.
Oh, Chris running a bit wide through that corner. allowing Dale to catch up. And they're gonna go side by side again through this hairpin. Dale maybe hoping for the cutback, but I think the hairpin is just slightly too long. If Chris parks it nicely on the apex there, you can't really use a cutback maneuver there.
Rian coming on the comments of the stream, coming with a great comeback. He's saying Jovan is making the car as fat as his ex-girlfriend. So interesting, Rian. Very interesting. But yes, that was the boys were having proper battles there, man. Yeah, and then I see the Eleanor, our team principal, has arrived to come and inspect his drivers. Yeah, Mr. Buck is here. He's in the house, here to come and support Anthony in second place. So welcome, boss man.
I'm just looking, Anthony doing 157 lines. He's got a 10-second gap to Alan. I think he's just gone into maintenance mode, like hit apexes and exits, make sure that he keeps it clean.
Bring it home. That's the point. Can't bet to the position, so let's just consolidate and bring it home.
Especially, wasn't he went for the undercut?
Yes, so, he went for the undercut. So
his tires are done. His tires are done.
They have had enough. So he just needs to manage that gap to Alan, and he should be good. And De Villiers is continuously looking for a way past that BMW. And I can tell Dale that Sunday I was stuck behind Dos Santos for about half an hour, and I could not find a way past. So he's been there for about an hour. So man, oh man, I don't know if he's going to find a hole.
It's all about creating the gaps, but Dos Santos knows better than to let the pressure get to him.
Oh, this is a close battle going on here.
I'm tempted to go and have a look at what is happening with Ronald Childs. He is right behind them. I forgot.
He's cruising behind them, and then he's got Stroud and Nieuwenhuisen just behind him, and they having a battle to try and decide who's going to finish 23rd or 24th as well.
All in it for the point still.
And then you've got Yassine has been caught by Francois Erasmus, and they are having a nice little tussle here for 9th and 10th spot as well. So final little
switch to that momentarily, and just trying to see if Van Nieuwenhuisen tries to make a move into turn 1, not quite.
And you've got
Stroud runs very, very deep. It's allowing Nieuwenhuisen to get up alongside him, but he doesn't have the inside line for the next few corners. Okay, Stroud seems to have held on there nicely. I'm going to switch to Yassine now. He's being closely followed by Francois Erasmus.
Yeah, I've just gone a bit further down. So Peter Geldenhuis and Lindsay Hans and Ryan van Wyk, the three of them are still at it. And Ryan basically has just about caught back up to Geldenhuis, so they can resume the fight that was going on before the pit stops.
Definitely. Although I think the sandwich had Yassine in the middle, not Lindsay Hans.
Yes, there we go. Yes. Lindsay has basically taken over from Yassine. Yassine jumped him and decided to just run away.
Well, it was Yassine who flinched first with going to pit. So in this case, it's looking like the undercut worked nicely for him. It's put him up ahead, Peter, ahead of Peter, as well as Francois Erasmus. So he's having a really, really good race in that case.
And Valdu has gotten past Jovan.
What happened?
Jovan must have made a mistake.
Momentary loss of concentration, maybe. 90
Just
minutes is a long time for a race.
his lap prior to the one that he just completed, he did a high 59. So
Oh, yes.
I take it something went wrong there because Voldu was doing low 57s. De Santos looks like he's broken the back of Guadale there. He's pulled away. He's got a bit of a gap now. So I think the final battles are just.
It might just be that that Dale decided, listen, we're 5 minutes from the race end. I don't see this happening very soon. Let me rather go into reserve mode. Got a gap of 10 seconds behind me, 16 seconds behind me. I can bring home a solid 7th finish.
Yeah. Dennis says if you want to jump onto Peter Geldenhuys, these boys are they swapping places around here, and you got Ryan just peeking in just can you get his way past?
Showing his nose next to Lindsay there, and it's compromising Lindsay's exit out of the complex there. Ooh, will Ryan be able to stick his nose out? Not quite. There's nose to tail.
Try that after he was involved with that little T-bone action a little bit earlier. Yeah, they need to not battle too hard, otherwise they're going to let Peter Geldenhuys get away.
Oh, at this stage, I think Ryan is not worried about Peter right now. He just wants to get past Lindsay. There's 2.5 minutes left in this race. Quickly gonna just have a look at the track map, just get a feel. So Ryan van Wyk, he's currently highlighted in red. Just trying to see, there's still a lot of movement up and down. I'll go and have a look at what Alistair is doing. He's just flying through the Schumacher S right now.
We haven't given the poor leader a lot of airtime, but he's been running on his own, man.
He's been doing a fantastic job tonight. Looking at the amount of time left, when he crosses the finish line, that will be his last lap.
And Ryan loses it through the chicane.
Oh no!
And he's dropped a few lengths there on the boys. So that has released Lindsay to fully concentrate on Peter now.
And this will mark the start of, I think, Lindsay and Peter's second last lap.
Now that'll be their second last.
Yes. Alistair is crossing the finish line now.
Leaders on final lap now.
Yep.
Switch back to him a little bit later, knowing that Hans and Peter is nose to tail. I want to stick with the action here. This is the dead of the in the last bit of the race, action happening.
You follow them. I will jump onto our race leader, and I'll just keep an eye on him while I follow our three boys closely on the stream. Ramsden he is taking it so calm, so smooth, and still pushing. His last lap, 56.4.
Ooh, Lindsay has a very, very good exit out of the Schumacher S's there. He's going for the outbraking maneuver. No, not quite. Peter closes the door, and it compromises Lindsay's line. Ryan van Wyk is right up alongside him, going through the right-hander, slight touching, door banging, but they keep it going, and they're falling back in line, racing their hearts out.
And I see that, yes, Alistair's catching them from behind.
He will be. So they're going to be crossing the finish line for their last lap. I'm just going to jump to Alistair quickly. Well done to him. He's had a fantastic race tonight. Basically led the race from start to finish, bar the 1 or 2 laps I think James Leach stole off of him. by pitting slightly
Let's
later.
finish the race.
There we go. Well done to Alistair for taking that win. That
And
was a clean one for him.
it means that Anthony Wilson, he's gotten himself a well-deserved second as he goes through the chicane, coming up to the last corner, going down the straight. Sure, he's going to be very, very happy with his result.
Yeah, I think Ant can be extremely happy with that. Taking that.
And so
Second
can
spot.
Alan. That rounds out our top 3. I'm going to quickly go and have a look. Just want to see if that battle is still developing. So Lindsay Hans closely followed by Ryan van Wyk. This is on the last lap coming into the hairpin. Ryan has the inside line, does not go for the outbraking maneuver. Falls back in line. Ooh, this is spicy. This is very, very spicy. I see Waldo finishing a well-deserved 4th position. Jovan Oosthuizen in 5th. And I'm sure Chris De Santos will be following soon, although he is also being hounded by Dale de Villiers still. But they lock in the positions there.
Yeah, I'm just
Ooh,
waiting
Lindsay.
to. Oh,
Slight
Ryan.
touch. I think
Just
Lindsay
tap.
made a slight error judgment there. Maybe didn't realize he was on the inside, tried to close the gap, and it didn't quite work out for him. Although I do see a slow car up ahead. I do think Ryan was waiting
Yeah,
for him.
Ryan is waiting for him.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that was an exciting race to watch, and exciting last lap action. Just gonna switch to Pieter Geldenhuys quickly. He's managed a well-deserved 11th finish, followed by Neil Berger and Dylan Dawes. Right.
There we
In
go.
the meanwhile, I am going to quickly do this. Let's see if we can go pull in someone for an interview. Not seeing anybody there yet. We'll be hoping someone can come and join us. Okay. Nobody here tonight.
Nobody wants to speak to you.
Let me just quickly ping Alistair. Maybe he's keen. I don't know. I had a lot of fun tonight.
That was a great race. It was, as we expected, entertainment galore from the start to the end. And poor Ryan, from the start, he's been fighting with Peter, and he was unable to close that battle out. And Peter held on for an hour and a half to beat him. So that was real great entertainment to watch.
Yeah. And that concludes round 1 of the 2021.2 SimGT championship. So overall, I think Div 1, amazing start to the season. Div 2, I am waiting to hear what the results is for Div 3. But we had 3 full divisions. That's almost 120 drivers. I think we were just short of 120 total. Those numbers are staggering in terms of sign up. Let me quickly do this. So while I'm not seeing any, okay, Alistair is here. Let's quickly do the interview.
Check
Hello, Alistair. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
How are you, good sir?
I'm tired.
Tired.
That was hard.
Did
yeah.
you at least have a lot of fun?
Yeah, that was so much fun. But the first stint with Wilson and Childs behind was just epic.
That's fantastic news. Tell me what how did you feel when you locked in pole, and then like there was 1 or 2 touch and go moments during the start, but overall you ran deep. What was your thoughts throughout the race?
With pole, I was really shocked because in the qualifying I was only in the top 10, so to get pole by 0.003 of a second as well was quite surprising. And then my strategy was just to go long and then pit about with 30 minutes to go, and then use the fresh tires to just fly past.
Well, you had a fantastic job. You did a fantastic job there. Were you at all worried about Anthony Wilson trying to go for the undercut? You came out of the pits just like a second and a half ahead of him.
Yeah, when I saw him go past, when I saw him pit, I was thinking I would be coming out behind him, but then I knew that I'd have fresher tires, and better pace towards the end.
Well, that's great to hear for you. Congratulations, Paul. You have any questions for the man?
Yeah, I think we need to start following your strategy. What made you think going for such a long one instead of doing what everyone else was doing, a short stint or just 50-50?
I just find when I go along, I'm not stuck in traffic, which I find if you do the same strategy as everyone else, you're gonna be stuck behind back markers. So I'd rather go long and then have fresher tires at the end.
Yeah, no, well, it definitely worked in your favor. You were kind of untouchable tonight, man. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations, and have a good rest of your evening. Don't go and soak or go and take in the win. I'm sure you're looking forward to the next race. Didn't see you caught up in any incidents, so at the moment it's looking like you'll be promoted to Div1 alongside I think Anthony Wilson and Alan Patterson. So it's gonna be a fun race. I think a fun few next. Apologies. It's going to be a bunch of fun races that await us in the future.
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you.
Cool. Cheers, man.
Yeah. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers.
All right, and that concludes it. Let me quickly run through the things I wanted to quickly run through. If you're keen on racing with us, you can head on over to simracesa.co.za. Find a sign-up form there, submit it. Our admin team will get into contact with you very soon. We ask a minimum donation of 150 Rand to a lovely charity called Abba. They take care of adoptions. They help out with adoptions, and to date we've raised 26,233 Rand, which is just every time each season that we've been doing this, it's blown my mind the sheer volume of donations coming in and going somewhere that we can trust that it will be used to better someone else's life. But yeah, that is it. Paul, anything from your side?
Oh man, thanks for having me.
Yep.
It was great fun and truly enjoyable, and can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, so next round will be our Sim Legends round, the minis around Goodwood. HLQ is already open. People have been doing some laps. I'm excited to see what that holds. On Monday, we'll have the Div 1 race as per usual. And on, what's the day? On Wednesday, it's the Div 2 and 3. I'm not sure if there's enough people signed up for 3 full divisions, but it's going to be exciting. All of the guys tasting has already said these minis are run really close to one another. It's going to be a great I think it's going to be a great series to follow, and an even better series to commentate on. I wish I could have taken part, but I don't really mix well with H patterns and heel and towing, but I'll get my fix through commentary. Cool.
Well, awesome.
If that is everything, I'm going to say good night to everybody. Thanks for joining us, and looking forward to Monday night's race. Cool. Bye, everybody.